Hello, you're watching R&B Magazine TV. I'm your host, Yolanda. Today, we've been granted access into the home of celebrity chef Sharon Hackman. Many of you may know Sharon from Fox's TV show Master Chef, but today, R&B Magazine is bringing him to
Great.
you. Do you mind introducing yourself to our fans and R&B
Absolutely.
Magazine?
Hi, nice to meet you all. My name's Sharon Hackman. Welcome to my home. This is my little man pad. This is my little test kitchen where I come up with all my fun recipes and formulas. And you're here, right here with me.
Yes. So, what do you have for us today?
Leftovers. Everyone's favorite, leftovers. When you called me and you hit me up and you're like, let's put something fun together, I always try to come up with a fun recipe that's relatable to everybody at home.
Yes.
That won't exhaust you trying to find like, where do I get all these ingredients from? And then send you on like this big shopping extravaganza where you got to buy all these expensive ingredients or whatnot. So what I did was really just take leftovers that I had and show you how I'm going to really transform this into something amazing.
Cool. Awesome. Yes.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Hands are washed.
Hands washed.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some leftover chicken, and that's going to be the star of our dish. Okay? So, chicken's one of the most versatile things out there. And so what I have is, this is just the thigh and the drumstick from some chicken soup that I made last night. And what's great about it is it's soft, it's tender, but you're like, well, what can I do with this, right? It's just like sitting in your fridge. Do I just like caveman it and eat it straight up? I'm going to transform this into something amazing, right? So let's have you start with just pulling the chicken apart. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to pull that apart. So what I've done ahead is made a little dough, okay? This is almost very similar to pizza dough, but what's different about it is if you can see the color off of it, it's a whole wheat dough. It's a little bit healthier for you. Some whole grains. Good job. Pulling it like a champ. A little smaller if you don't mind.
Okay. No problem.
Perfect. Exactly. And then what I'm going to do with this flatbread is we're going to grill it. I'm going to make I'm going to make one of the most killer sandwiches you've ever had. Okay?
Yummy.
Again, using some fresh ingredients, using things that have some great contrast, but they're all in my pantry or refrigerator. Okay?
Nice.
So for those of you at home, you're like, how do I make a dough? It's easy. Just go to Google or YouTube and say, how to make a pizza dough. Flour, water, olive oil. Okay, so we're going to spread this apart. I'm going to add a little bit of flour to it.
Okay.
You know why I'm doing that?
No, why?
So it doesn't stick to me, and it
Okay.
doesn't stick to the cutting board. Something like that. That looks about right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up my grill
Okay.
and get the grill going nice and hot. Now, while we wait for the grill to get hot, we're going to do something else. How you doing over there? Almost ready?
Fine. Almost fine.
Okay, cool. So this is a cool trick everybody can see at home. I'm always asked, like, is there an efficient way to cut a pepper? I'm like, yes, there is. Because I see a lot of people do it, and then there's like the seeds all over the place or whatnot. So what I do is I start with one side. Ready? You watching?
Oh.
Boom.
Wow.
There's
Cut it
that.
off.
And now we've just got the pepper. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it some cuts. So now we've got our red peppers, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my pan going, nice and hot, and we're going to caramelize some peppers. Now the beauty about caramelized peppers is that they just add a lot of sweetness to the dish. The texture is fun, and it really gives it this kind of nice punch. Okay? So we're going to saute that. I'm going to get my pan, I'm going to turn up my oven, because another thing I'm going to do, this is going to be kind of like a packed sandwich. Oh, that's perfect. Amazing.
Good.
Oh, that's perfect. Look at
Amazing.
that. Like a pro. Amazing. Okay. Wash up. Now I want your chicken hands over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do some prosciutto. I love prosciutto. It's nice, it's salty, it's robust in flavor, it's really good. It's going to get really nice and crispy and salty. So it's going to be kind of like our nice salty garnish, I guess. So just like that, I've got a little bit of parchment paper under it, oven to 350, boom. In it goes. Really easy. All right, so we've got our chicken.
Okay.
We're going to set this aside, and we're going to make our little salad. Now this is where I'm going to have a little bit of fun with. This is getting nice and hot. I'm going to turn this down. We'll start with our salad here. So I'm going to make, I had a cucumber, I have a lemon, and I have some just fresh radishes, garden radishes. Maybe, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our cucumber and we're going to make like a nice little crispy slaw. Okay? Something that's bright, because I'm going to caramelize this. It's going to be sweet. We've got the chicken. We've got the saltiness of the prosciutto. So we're going to make a nice little crunchy, fresh slaw that adds that contrast and brightness to it. Okay? So we're going to take our cucumbers and we're just going to chop them up nice and thin.
Now, you said you didn't go to culinary school, so how did you learn all of the tricks?
Well, I didn't go to culinary school, but I studied under some of the most prominent, well-known chefs in the world, and I've worked in their kitchens. So I've got tons of restaurant experience, but I just didn't go to school.
Nice.
So I don't have a degree per se to show that I went to school for it, but I've got the best experience you can have, which is just getting thrown in the trenches, right? So we've got our cucumbers. That's going to go in our bowl. Okay.
So how did you get on MasterChef?
How?
Yes.
Well, I didn't have the I really didn't have the idea in my mind that I wanted to be on TV. I'm from LA, born and raised. I never had this idea that I wanted to do television. I just recently left my job to pursue something in culinary, and TV was not the platform that I was interested in or looking at. But I had a friend of mine who was a producer, told me about MasterChef, and I was like, no thanks. And then she reminded me kind of like a day before auditions, and I still said no. My wife actually forced me. She was like, you know what? Auditions are right down the street. I live in LA, right down the street from the Grove. She was like, just go. So I get over there. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it. I see the line. It's like 4 hours long. Like, there's no way I'm doing that. And I ended up just talking to somebody and schmoozing with them. And next thing I know, in about 20 minutes, I was in.
Oh, so you cut the line, huh?
I didn't say I cut the line. And then one thing led to another. I mean, I had a producer call me back, and next thing you know, I'm on the show.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was awesome. It was now about 4 years ago. Yep. So it's a great platform. So cucumbers, the radishes,
Yes.
some lemon juice.
Okay.
That's going to add that acid and that brightness, right? And then I've got some fun herbs. And I pulled out a bunch of herbs that I had in my fridge. So what I have here is some cilantro. I love cilantro. Really good, just bright citrusy note. Some fresh dill and mint. So a lot of bright flavors in there. And so what we'll do is we'll just pull a couple apart here.
Okay.
There's
Can you
that.
help?
Sure, if you want to pull some apart. We don't need all of them. Dill were enough. Let's do some cilantro. And I'll pull the fresh mint.
So where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, today's inspiration was leftovers.
Leftovers.
Yesterday's inspirations, well, I mean, really, I draw from so many different places. I find inspiration in what I experienced that day, or architecture, the ingredients that I find at the farmer's market. I think inspiration to me is really such a absorption of life in the moment.
Okay.
Perfect. And then I'm just going to hit it with some olive oil. A little bit of salt.
Now you
And we're just going to give this a really nice toss. See that? Simple. Let's start caramelizing some red peppers. So I'm going to add some oil to the pan. Want a nice hot pan. And the reason why I want a nice hot pan is because I really want to get some color off these peppers. If you go low heat on them, they're just going to kind of sweat out and get soggy. I want to put some color. I want a little bit of that char color on it. Okay? So we're going to we're going to caramelize this up. Season it a little bit of salt. Season everything as you cook. A little bit of pepper.
Is that sea salt or regular salt?
Kosher salt.
Kosher.
Kosher salt.
Okay.
Not because I'm Jewish, just because it's kosher salt. So we're caramelizing this up. You want to give this a shot?
Yeah.
Come on, you got to try it. Have you ever done that before?
No.
Okay, hold on a second. Go for it.
Oh,
Zoom in on this. Hold on. Let me back out. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, great. So we're going to let this caramelize a little bit more. And like I said, I want to get that color off of it. So when you see some of that char, that blackness come on it, that's when we know we're in business. Exactly. Let's get back to our chicken. All right. What are we going to do with this chicken, right? How are we going to enhance the flavor of it? I'm going to show you. Let me go get a pot. Sure. I just launched a brand new flavor. So I've got a line of barbecue sauces, and this is my brand new flavor. It's called the smoked maple mustard. Okay? So it's my little play off of a honey mustard, but a smoked maple mustard. So it's a little more robust. It's a little bit deeper, smokier flavor, because what we do is we take the maple syrup and I smoke it. So it has this kind of like barbecue element to it, but you got that beautiful tang that everybody loves off of a mustard. and we use whole mustard seeds. You see it in the back, so it's really nice. So what we're going to do is a play off of a pulled pork, but we're going to do a pulled chicken.
Nice.
And so you already pulled the chicken. You got your hands dirty. You did the dirty work. And then what we're going to do is just bring it to life with a smoked maple mustard. All right, perfect. So we're going to go low heat. Don't want to burn it. We just want to bring it to life, right? Some olive oil. And the chicken is going right in the pan. Okay?
Yes.
Put that in the sink. And then we will take some of that smoked maple mustard and just drizzle some of that in there.
And how long have you been cooking?
All my life. All my life. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I grew up in LA. My dad raised us. So I come from a single family and my mom hasn't really been around. So I always found myself being the guy at home, always cooking, whether it was for me, myself, or my sister. So from a young age, my grandmother was really a big part of my cooking life. She is that, that grandma that's in the kitchen from 7 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. She never left the kitchen. That was my grandmother. So I only realize it now as an adult and as a parent and realizing how important it was, what a role she played in my life. But from a young age, I was always in the kitchen, whether it was helping her out or just putting some stuff together. But only later on, I think in college, it really started developing into a passion. More. Now let's get back to grilling. Got our flatbread. Always season my flatbread. I get that question a lot because I do a lot of different breads and people are like, why does your bread taste so good? What did you do? It's like, I just put salt, pepper, and olive oil on it. Flatbread's going on. This is not going to take long at all to cook, okay? That's something that I really like about grilling bread and dough is, you think about putting it in the oven, it takes forever. Yeah. Watch how fast this goes. See that? There's our flatbread. And it's rustic. It is what it is. That's how it looks. All right, next step, we're going to put this together. So I think that we should just plate right onto this. Okay. There's our flatbread, and we're going to start plating this. Ready? First things first, we have our flatbread. Second thing we're going to do, is take our mustard with the pulled chicken and pull that right on top. Boom. Nice. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our caramelized red pepper and put that on top. Caramelized red pepper on top. All right, so we have our crispy prosciutto chips on top, red peppers, our fresh cucumber and radish slaw with mint, cilantro, fresh dill. Now this is tasty, but it's messy. You didn't ask me. Yes. And then you just take that and fold it over. Boom. Boom. There we have it.
There you have it.
Leftovers done up. Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to be here with you and you having me and with the whole crew over at R&B. This is awesome.
Yes. Well, we'd like to thank Sharon so much for inviting us into his home. And once again, keep jamming to R&B Magazine and we'll check you later. Bye-bye.